really excited to bring this topic to you today. We are going to be talking about the mindset and psychology of a successful content creator. So, sharing my screen. I've never presented from Canva on Zoom before, so this is very exciting to me. Okay. So welcome to day 2, Orgasmic Money, the mindset and psychology of a successful content creator. That is all of you. I know I'm so excited. I got to know some of you yesterday, and the work that you're doing, the work you want to create, so important in this world. Yes, the money, the finances, the management, all of that is very important. And mindset, psychology, energy, which is what Ashley will be covering tomorrow. Very important. They all come together into a beautiful crescendo of orgasmic business, orgasmic pleasure, which is what you're here for, right? So I'm Amelia. As I introduced myself yesterday, I am a business mentor and self-love coach. I help witchy healers, spiritual entrepreneurs, and content creators monetize their gifts so they can go full time in their passions. This is so important to me. I am Filipino American. I was raised from a single immigrant mother, and I was taught, like probably many of you, there is one pathway to success, and that way is work really hard, do really well in school, do a major, get a job according to society, what is acceptable, and then you're going to make a lot of money, have a retirement plan, and boom, you've done it, right? Well, let me tell y'all, I accomplished that when I was 17 years old. I got my big girl internship on Wall Street my freshman year of college. Of course, I felt really good about that, was really good for my ego, made tons of money, a lot more money than any 17-year-old should make. I was going to happy hours. I was doing the whole Wall Street thing. And by the time I graduated, maybe a year or two out, I was kind of like, so this is the pinnacle of success. Like, I'm not going to retire till I'm 65, and to a 22-year-old, that you might as well say 1,000 years old. And so I was like, okay, I did everything that you, society, mom, culture, religion, whoever said I was supposed to do. Why do I feel so passionless? Why do I feel not successful? Why does every time my alarm clock go off, I want to break it with a sledgehammer? Why does every time I wake up, I'm like, I would rather die than go to work? And I don't know how my 22-year-old brain knew this, but I was kind of like, there's got to be another way, right? Like, this is the Matrix, right? Like, there's got to be another way. Or is everyone just this unhappy? Did we all sign up for this? So that one question launched my entire personal development journey into finding another way. And I'm happy to say many years later, I am running a global online platform where I get to teach self-love and help witchy, spiritual, sensual, spicy content creators like you live an orgasmic, pleasurable, fully expressed life and make good money doing it. So if that's exciting to you, pop it in the chat, do a little dance, get up and twerk. I'm excited. It is possible. Even if in this moment you're like, WTF, is that possible? It is. I'm living proof. You're living proof. You will be living proof. It's going to happen. So this is why I'm excited, and why I'm sure you're excited, and why you signed up for this. Part of the reason why, at least, right? So today we are going to cover the mindset and psychology of a successful content creator. We're going to get all sciencey up in here, okay? I have a degree in computer engineering. I am a low-key / high-key nerd. We're going to get sciencey, but not too sciencey where it's boring and not fun. And that's going to lead into what it really means to own your identity as a sensual entrepreneur, as a content creator, as an artist, whatever it is that you are passionate about, that you want to monetize. You need to own that identity. We're going to also talk about the cycle of self-sabotage. I won't leave you on that cycle. We're going to talk about how to get off that cycle. I know some of this stuff came up yesterday around mindset and energy and sabotage, procrastination, all these other things, overthinking, analysis paralysis. Those are all elements of self-sabotage. So we're going to talk about it. How do we get on this cycle? And most importantly, how do we get off? And then I'll leave you with some actionable, orgasmic, juicy next steps, and we'll also open it up for some Q&A. So that's the overview. Are you ready for this adventure? Because I have been so ready for this adventure. I see some clapping, I see some cheering. I'm not really looking at the chat right now because I'm focused, but I will check it in a moment. All right, so let's go into the mindset. I need you to understand this before we even get sciencey with it. And hear me on this. This is a very simple concept, but in order to succeed in business, you need to understand that your mindset is the most important thing you will ever work on. The most important thing you will ever work on. And let me tell you, when people are like, oh, how do I start a business? They're like, oh, do I need an LLC? Do I need to open a bank account? They look up all these tactics and strategies, which are important. But I promise you, with the mindset on lock, the strategy becomes simple, easy, breezy. It really is. It's really simple steps to start a business, to set it all up. And I'm saying simple, not easy, okay? Because it is hard, but what makes it hard is the mindset. Because if you have a mindset of starving artist, struggling entrepreneur, employee, that's what's going to make the steps seem hard. I was about to get a little bit ahead of myself, so I'm just going to pause there. And here's the truth, right? I know some of y'all in here starting OnlyFans accounts, starting a new version of your business. I think we got our tarot photographer just come in. You're creating something yummy and new. Someone wants to work with fertility, move into a new phase, or whether it's just continuing to build and scale your current offering, or putting out a new piece of art. I'm going to tell you something you already know, but I'm going to say it again because we need to say it for context. Our current world has not widely accepted the value of spiritual gifts and art as legitimate resources that every human being needs. We all know that it was the artists that got us through the pandemic. Imagine going through lockdown without books, music, or TV or movies. Yet now we're out of lockdown and people still talk about artists and creators and business owners as if we're just out here doing what? We are literally the lifeblood of society, and society still does not at large accept the value that we have to offer. So the truth is, the hard truth is, the odds are stacked against us. You go out to any cafe, any job interview, any room, and there will be 90%, maybe 99% of people talking about and opposing what it is you're trying to create. So this is why your mindset is the most important thing you will ever work on, okay? How you think about yourself and your worth are paramount to building a successful business. And if you are an artist, content creator, even if you are the art, you are a business. You must think of yourself as a business. And so invest time and money in this area. It is non-negotiable. This needs to be part of your business strategy. How is my mindset? Invest time and money in this area. You're already ahead of the curve because you're here. So congratulations. Let's do a little tap on the back, a little booty clap. Congratulations to you. You're already investing time and energy in this, but more. The bulk of any of my investments into my business has been on mindset. Don't let anyone tell you it's not that important, because it really is. It really, really is. We clear on that? I see nodding. Okay, great. So let's talk about mindset. All right. So developing a successful mindset starts with understanding, we're going to get into our sciencey nerdiness here, how the brain works and the 6 neurological levels of change. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have ever heard about these levels of change, But let me tell you, it is a game changer. And if you haven't heard about it, it's going to change your life. If you have heard about it, let it change your life in a deeper way. Even if you know what I'm about to tell you about how the brain works, let's just adopt beginner's mindset and see how much deeper we can take this learning. Maybe there's a new aha moment or a new next level, deeper, higher, however you want to think of it, that you can take this. This is really, really important. And I promise you, I come back to what I'm about to tell you every day, multiple times a day. I already have what some would call a successful business. I make money, I do what I want, I make my own time, and I still have to remember, oh yeah, that's my brain doing that thing. And oh yeah, that's this level, this neurological level of change. So I'm kind of teasing you a little bit because I'm sure you're on the edge of your seats like, tell me what it is. So like I said, even if you've already heard about this, listen with new ears, watch with new eyes, open with a new heart, and really take this in. So how the brain works. Did you know that we have 3 brains? I mean, it's all one brain, right? But we have 3 brains, okay? We have our metaphorical neocortex, our social emotional limbic brain, and we have our fight or flight, lovingly called Lizzie. I did not make that up, our lizard brain. I like to call her Lizzie, Lizzo, whatever you want. So we have these 3 parts of our brain, and I'm sure you've heard that we don't use all of our brain. So there is so much more executive functioning and creativity and problem solving that is available to you in this yummy, juicy gray matter. But most of the time we live here. We live here. So when we live here, this is when we're in fight or flight. Cortisol is up, stress is high. I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to survive. How does fight or flight look like? It's when you're triggered. It's when you're scared. It's when you're anxious. It's when you're panicked. So let's say, you know, you're launching your new offer and you got to tell someone what you do for a living and how much it costs. You might go into this fight or flight and just freeze and be like, it also, like back in the caveman days when we had to fight saber-toothed tigers, fight looked like, okay, am I going to duke it up and try to go toe to toe with this tiger? Or am I going to book it as fast as I can? Now in modern day times, not too many saber-toothed tigers attacking us. They look a little different nowadays. But the way it looks, fight can look like, I'm just going to create problems. You know, my daughter is going to have a problem. And so now I can't focus on this thing because I need to go fix this. Or my boss is calling me and the pipe burst in my bathroom. Now you might be thinking, okay, those are things I can't control, but I want you, we're spiritual in here, right? I want you to think metaphysically. What you are creating in your world is a reflection of how you see yourself and what's going on up here. So when we're in fight or flight, we're going to create problems. We're going to create anxiety. Let's just pick a fight with my partner because I'd rather fight with her than, you know, do my taxes. I'd rather fight with her than actually put together my program or course. Now, of course, logically up here, we're talking about Lizzie, okay? So this is not me saying, oh my gosh, you're adults, you should know better. That's up here. We're not there yet. So when we're in this high stress state, we're going to pick a fight. We're going to run away. So the flight looks like depression at its worst. Looks like I really don't want to get out of bed. It feels heavy. It feels sad. It feels procrastinating. And then not only that, we can't move. And now we're like ruminating and shaming ourselves like, get out of bed, get out of bed. Look at you. You're supposed to be some badass business owner. Just get the fuck up. But you're probably in flight. So there's something going on there, right? So emotional regulation is going to be really important. We're not going to get too much into that, but that's Lizzie. Okay, thanks, Lizzie. But look, Lizzie has kept you alive, all right? Let's not make Lizzie the enemy here. Lizzie is the reason you're alive today because your ancestors were the ones who were able to survive said saber-toothed tigers in order to passed down the bloodline, and you're here today. So you're a miracle of life. You've got the goods. You've got the good genes. It's still a part of our brain, though. So we want to be aware when we're in fight or flight, and like, maybe not try to do anything like super important when you're super triggered, right? So then the next part of the brain is your social emotional limbic brain. This is really where we're at most of the time. And this part of the brain wants to keep you safe, wants to keep you the same. How this part works is, let's say you have a new idea, or even you walk into a room. Let's just start with walking into a room. You walk into a room, this part of the brain is like, let me go through my catalog of stories and perceptions and see if I can match up what's happening so that I can just know what's going on, right? So let's say you're walking into a room of really your friends, right? And so in your limbic brain, you have the story in there like, this is safe. These are my girlfriends. These are my boyfriends. This is nice. So social emotional response is, okay, this is good. We're happy. So now you can be present. You show up. Okay. Now, let's say you walk into a room, maybe you don't even know the people, but they all remind you of your narcissistic ex. I don't know that person, but for some reason, or even just one person in the room and then boom, you're going to be like, nope, I'm out of here. No executive functioning, no higher functioning decision-making. So we're constantly, this part of the brain is constantly assessing, am I safe? Am I not safe? Do I need to get Lizzie involved? Am I safe? Am I not safe? Do I need to get Lizzie involved? We're not always trying to go up here for like, what's the most creative way that I can navigate this issue, right? So let me tell you how this would look when you're starting your business, starting a new part of your business, or leveling up in your business. Let's say you're like, woohoo, I'm going to do a new offer and it's going to be $1 million and it's going to be amazing and I'm going to offer it. Limby over here, let's call her, is going to be like, we've never done that before. Danger, stranger danger. Nope. Let's just stick with what we know. Why don't we keep our rates low? Why don't we just do that old program that, we don't really want to do anymore? Why don't we text our ex? Because that's a good idea, because they're familiar. But this new person that I'm dating, who Nettie over here, I'm just making, would be like, no, this is a better match for you. But Limby's like, well, we're comfortable with our abusive narcissistic ex, so let's just text them. Let's just see how that goes. So Limby, here to keep you safe, here to keep you the same, okay? So we actually don't have access to this part as long as we're trying to keep staying safe, or as long as we're trying to survive. So this is about comfort. This is about familiarity. This is about safety. This is about survival. We live here. And if you are not working on your mindset and surrounded, we'll talk about this in a bit, surrounded by the community that's going to help you access your juicy metaphorical brain, we're just going to stay the same. We're just going to keep it here with our two-step. We're not going to learn new choreography. We're going to keep it here with our two-step. I hope you're following with my metaphors. I love a good metaphor. I'm having a good time. So this is where the cycle of self-sabotage lives. Because maybe you get a little hit here like, ooh, I'm going to raise my rates, or ooh, I'm going to put out a new offer, or oh, I'm going to launch my music album, or whatever it is, or I'm going to date that new person, that new sexy person who's probably healthier for me. Limby's like, unfamiliar, don't know what that is, never had that experience, unsafe. So Limby's going to be like, let's just create some problems we already know how to solve. Let's have the pipe burst. Let's have the MailChimp not work. Let's have my technology glitching. Let's have a random bill get charged. And then, of course, I'm going to get the alert. And of course, I'm going to go down that rabbit hole instead of this new juicy thing that I'm trying to create, because this is safe. Now, this is just how the brain works. This is not because you're stupid. This is not because you don't know any better. So we tend to like shame ourselves for like not knowing any better, but this is how the brain works. It's here to keep you safe. It's here to keep you the same, not because it's trying to like cock block you or anything, but that's because it's how it works. This is how we've survived for millennia. Okay, so it's designed to keep you safe, aka keep you the same. It does not like change. limby does not like change. Lizzie does not like issues. So what do we do? What do we do? We need, in order to create change, new offer, higher rates, new business, whatever, new relationship, we need to access 𝘵𝑠𝑇𝑖. We need to access the most powerful part of our brain. So how do we do that, you ask? I know you're on the edge of your seats, but I'm teasing you, I'm edging you, okay? In order to access and maximize the use of your gorgeous brain, we need to get off the cycle of sabotage. And in order to do that, we need to feel safe. Safe, right? Because when we feel safe, limby's having a good time. Lizzie's taking a nap. Lizzie's like, no danger. We're chilling. My cortisol is down, honey. My dopamine is up. My cortisol is down. limby's like, I'm just chilling with my margarita, my ginger beer. So now 𝘵𝑠𝑇𝑖 can come in and be like, I have the solution. This is what I should do. This is the next step I should take. We actually don't need to deal with those old problems. We're going to create new solutions. So how do we create safety? I'm so excited for this part. Okay, how do we create safety? In order to create the experience of safety, and when I say safety, I'm talking about familiar, right? Because if you're familiar with your toxic narcissistic ex, that's still going to feel safe to limby because it's familiar. So familiar, safety, unfamiliar, not safe, risky, stranger danger. So in order to create the experience of safety, you need to work on all 6 levels, neurological levels of change. Now, we're not going to go too deep into all 6 of them. I'm telling you, I look at these levels every single fucking day and I'm like, okay, where am I at? When I work with my clients, I'm telling you, we talk about it all the time. Where are you at? Which level are we working on? So this is an ongoing, lifelong thing. I'm not going to be able to go too deep into all of them in 10 minutes or however much time I have left, but we're going to just give an overview, a little overview or a review if you already know about this, okay? So if you're ready for the neurological levels of change, say, stop teasing me and just put it in our... I love that I can talk like this because this class is called Orgasmic Money, but anyway, Leah's like, but also, okay. So the neurological levels of change we've got, and this is by Robert Dilts, some dude, whatever. He's not important. I mean, he's important because he gave us this, but whatever. Thanks, Robbie. Thanks, Bobby, whatever. So environment, behavior, skills, values and beliefs, identity, and purpose. Like I said, we're not going to go too deep on all of these because I could literally talk for 3 days about each level. If you want to sign up for that, I'll need to create it and then you can sign up for that, but we're not going to do that right now. So they're also in order because they stack on each other, okay? And they're also kind of in order of importance, okay? Sort of. You'll see what I mean. So environment. This can be literally an 80% game changer for you. So if you're either looking to start your business, launch a new offer, or level up your business, you can't be with do-nothing bitches. You can't be with the crabs in the barrel that are going to be like, why would you be an entrepreneur? That's too risky. I don't know if y'all saw, if you follow me on Instagram, but one of my latest posts was about how when I quit my Wall Street job to become an entrepreneur, I had 70 missed calls from family being like, it's too risky, just go back to corporate. And I was like, I can't hang out with you people anymore. Now, I'm not talking about cutting people off, but your environment. I'm not just talking about people. It's people, places, things, right? What is your office space? Let me tell you, when I first started my business and had no idea what the hell I was doing, still kind of don't know what the hell I'm doing, but whatever, Medi makes it work. I would be like so messy in my room and have my laptop like on my bed. Like what the, like, does not create the environment of badass CEO. So your office space, your workspace, your living space, the people around you. One of my business mentors mentioned she literally had to move out of her mom's house because her mom every single day was like, it's too risky, it's too risky, it's too risky. What are you doing? I don't understand this coaching stuff, whatever. Environment, game changer. Because your environment will then influence your behavior. Let's switch topics for a second. Let's say you want to create a healthy lifestyle. If you're around a bunch of people that eat a bunch of junk food and don't exercise, it's going to be really, really hard to motivate yourself to go exercise. I'm telling you, when I'm around people that are like, let's go running, like I'm not that person, but when I'm around those people, actually, when I was in Chile, when I met Leah, I was like, let's go hiking. I was like, oh my God, like, okay, but I was out here. I was out there every day. Leah knows we were hiking up hills because I was around people that were like, yeah, like I just do planks every day, like every morning. And I was like, okay, that's not going to be me. But since I was around these like fit people, I started being more fit. So your environment influences your behavior. So if you've got money mindset issues, money trauma stuff, whatever it is, if you're surrounded by people that are like, being a coach is too hard, doing a business is too hard, you can't really make money from your art, it's going to influence your behavior. You're going to be like, yeah, maybe I should get a job. Not that there's anything wrong with getting a job. I've had to get jobs too to supplement my income while I built my business, but it's going to influence your behavior. You're going to be like, okay, I'll have an extra donut instead of I'll go hiking up this big ass hill in Santiago, Chile for no reason. Skills. I want to just briefly talk about skills. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is where people try to focus on, like, I need to learn money management. Yes, that's important. The skills are important. But if you're only focusing on the skills and like, let's say you have the best money management skills, the best business running skills, but you're in an environment with people that are like poo-pooing what you're doing and have really bad money beliefs or whatever, it's going to impact your behavior and the skills are just going to kind of be there collecting dust, right? Having the right environment, behavior, and skills feeds into your belief in yourself. What are your values? I value freedom. I value time freedom, financial freedom. I believe that I can make this happen. It's going to be really hard to have those beliefs if all of this is not. That's all I have to say. Identity. This is where I'm going to go much more deeper into identity because this is about owning your identity, who you are, right? This was a big piece for me, actually. This was a shift that I made for those of, well, some of you have been following me longer than just this class, but I know Leah's been following. Did you notice a shift in me, right? Like around the new year? That was this. That was this. Because I realized that I still, even though I had jumped into the identity, I was owning the identity of entrepreneur, content creator. I wasn't owning the identity of like badass millionaire content creator, entrepreneur. I was still holding on to this like, it's so hard. And I didn't know it until I learned these levels. So when I learned these levels, I was like, oh shit. I'm not every day being like, I'm Amelia Fortes, business mentor, self-love coach, multiple six-figure business happening today, right now. This is who I am. Because this is how you're going to show up. So this actually ends up feeding into, it's like it feeds up this way and it feeds down this way, right? I showed up differently. And when I say I look at this model every day and I look at this every day with my clients, it's like, where are you at? Okay, we got a belief thing. Okay, let's do some hypnotherapy for that. Let's do some energy healing. Oh, we got an identity thing. All right, let's work. Let's do some tough love here. What are we doing? What are we working on, right? Purpose. You already got that. That's in you. That's in your DNA. You don't, like, you know, so many people are like, I don't know my purpose. You do. You're just afraid to admit it to yourself. You do, you know it. It's in your gut, it's in your DNA, it's in your cells. Maybe you don't want to say it out loud. That's okay. but at least say it out loud to yourself. You already know. We don't need help finding our purpose. We know. It's a GPS that's in us. It just takes us there. It took you to this class, okay? So let's dive in a little deeper with some questions you can ask yourself. Right, so environment, recap. This is like kind of a recap, and also like, let's take it deeper. So with environment, who are you surrounding yourself with? Do your work and or home spaces support your goals? Are you surrounding yourself with people who have a bigger mindset than you? This was another game changer for me when I was like around all these like super successful online coaches. It's what helped me believe that it's possible, because I'm looking around like, it's possible. Everyone's doing it. But if you're surrounded by a bunch of people that are like, oh, it's too risky, don't do that, just go get a job, like my 70 missed calls, just go back to corporate, I'm like, I'm just not going to hang out with you guys. I'll see you on Christmas, you know, love you, but we're not going to talk about work. I'll tell you that. We're not going to talk about work, and we're not going to talk about money. We're going to talk about love. Behavior. What are your daily habits and behaviors? Are you learning from a mentor who can show you the way? This is really important. You know, a lot of people like, oh, I'm in therapy. I don't have time or energy to invest in a coach, like, or a mentor. Like, no, dude, do it. If you really want to succeed, like, have someone in your corner. It doesn't have to be like one of those $1 million people. It can be someone that you see a few times a month and to like talk through things. Someone who's a few steps ahead of you, who can show you the way. Skills. What skills do you need to launch and maintain your business? When I work with my clients, we talk about the main skills that you need in order to have a successful business. Those include knowing how to sell yourself, knowing how to create content, how to create an offer, an irresistible offer that sells, blah, blah, blah. We're not going to go into that today. But what skills do you need? Are your beliefs aligned with your values and what you're looking to create? So if you value financial freedom and time freedom, do you actually believe that that's possible? Because if those two don't mix, we gotta do some subconscious rewiring, energy healing, energy cord cutting, hypnotherapy, whatever. It doesn't matter what the modality you use, just work on that. Okay, most important thing. And here, are you owning the identity of successful entrepreneur, or are you buying into the starving artist trope? I was not buying into starving artist, but earlier this year I was like, oh shit, I'm still identifying as an entrepreneur that needs to work so hard just to make a little bit. And I was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm a badass bitch, okay? Like, I'm gonna own something else. So own something else, right? And is everything below aligning with and supporting your purpose? So for example, I know I keep using this example because someone in here needs to hear this example, but if your purpose is to make music because you are the music, you need to not be around people that are going to be like, oh, I'm a musician, blah, 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 like whatever stupid people say. I don't mean to say stupid, but you know what I mean. So is everything aligning with your purpose? Is everything supporting you to be the music, to be the entrepreneur, to be the CEO, to be the sensual, sexiest, top earning person on OnlyFans, whatever it is everything here aligning with that? So I'll pause there so you can actually think and just write down, what are the areas where have I been focusing too much on? A lot of people focus way too much here. We do need it, but to be honest, they're gonna just collect dust if you're not working on these two and these two. This is like daily. This is like lifetime. So I don't know what slide is next, so I'm just going to see what happens. Yes, let's breathe. I'm going to stop sharing for a bit because I just want to pause and check in. What's resonating for you? What's juicy? It doesn't have to be anything like, you know, life-changing, but I just want to hear. I've been talking a lot. So what's been coming through?
Especially with where I'm at right now and like pregnant, business owner, going through a divorce, like the whole time I was just staring at that. I threw it in the chat. Like, my parents want me to move home. Like, no, like that is just such a hard no for me, because I know that it would affect my environment, would be totally thrown. I would not like have my own space. I would not have the ability to, be in a good space. Behavior would immediately be influenced, because I know when I love, and that's not to say I don't love my family. I do. I love them so much more that I don't live with them. But I know when I went home, whenever I go home to visit, I fall off and my parents also live in a colder climate, which is a big environment thing for me. I do not function well in a cold climate. So, and I don't go on my daily walks. I skip out of my meditation. I don't get my exercise. I just all of that. And then that falls into then it builds up to the skills of I'm not doing the things that I don't create content as well. So it's just, all of this is very, is resonating, because I know but it's also hard because at the moment, they're my strongest support system. I know that they mean well. And I know that it's also your 70 missed calls is probably everyone's just genuinely concerned for you. And, in the unknown. So it's just all of that is just really resonating at the moment, because it is scary right now. Life as a business owner, a single new mom, all of it's very scary. Lizzie is firing away all the time. I especially when we were talking about that, I was just Lizzie has been running my life the last couple weeks. And so yeah, everything's really just hitting home right now. So I'm very glad to be here. I know that Karen invited me to be a part of this, and I'm so grateful, because this is all just really, really hitting home.
Good. I'm so glad it's hitting home. And I know in your share, I'm hearing, yes, it's going to bring up other stuff. And again, we have an hour together. So this is really about creating awareness. Let's not underestimate the importance of awareness, because once we're aware, it's okay, now Medi can come in and be okay, these are the problems. Let me get to work. Let Medi get to work while you sleep, while you go about your day. Don't worry about it. Medi's got a lot of capability, right? But just having an awareness yep, Lizzie's here. She here. We here. And so, like I said, there's so much deeper that we can go, and that it's required to go. Even for me with my coaches, we got to go deep and be all right, what's really the energetic entanglement going on here? What's the old story? How do we divorce that old story? How do we create a new story? So don't get worried about that. Awareness is a very important first step. And then you take the next step, right? Which is okay, how do I resolve this? So I'm really glad that it is resonating for you. And yeah, we'll do more Q&A in a bit. And I actually just have one more slide, which is an invitation, but I would love to hear from anyone else what's been resonating for you. Yeah, go ahead, Leah.
Ooh, I love a good visual. It really helps I love the idea of having those 6 neurological levels of change to refer to. And in a way, it's kind of brought meaning to what I feel like I was going through for the last year, which was I kind of felt like I fell out of love with my business, and I didn't know how to run a business if I wasn't in love with it. And in the last couple of months, I feel like we started dating again. And actually, I really loved it. I started to love it again. And so what's interesting to me, what you said about purpose, it's in your DNA. And I think, yes, that's always been there, but I haven't really owned it. So that's been happening lately. And so everything else from there down just feels like it's falling into place. I think environment, something that I've, without meaning to, have improved, and I can see the results from that. So that's been really great. And the area of struggle for me is the behavior. That's the one. So when I look at it and I go, okay, where am I today? Behavior, that's the one. So thank you. Just thanks for sharing this, because I think that instantly, rather than going around with what's going on, what do I do, how do I break this down, it's very simple reference points of oh yeah, there it is, cool, so I know what to do. I love a roadmap.
Yes. Oh, good. I'm so, and that's what it did for me when I learned this. I was And I'm telling you, I don't know where it is right now, but I have it printed out. And when at like literally every session with my clients, regardless of what we're working on, I'm like, where are we at? So I'm just gonna, I know Cam wants to share something. I'm just gonna pull it up again real quick. This is not the presentation version, but it's all good. I can make it a little bigger. So yeah, it's like environment. Okay, it could literally be, I need to get out of the house, right? Let's say you do have to live with your parents. Like, you know, we're not talking about nitty gritty circumstances, right? Medi will figure that out. Just be like, Medi will figure that out, you know? So it could literally be, I need to get out of the house. For me, sometimes it's, I need to hop in the shower, girl. Like, your hair's flat, you stink. Like, go do something, change it up, put on a different shirt. I don't know, put pants on. I don't really wear pants much, but behavior is like, okay, do I have an accountability partner? Do I have a biz bestie? Do I have a coach that I can talk to? This is definitely coach mentor stuff, or even good old Google. Beliefs, identity, this stuff, I mean, I'm going to say it's like work with someone, because there are so many blind spots in these areas that memes aren't going to do it. You know, I see people post memes all the time, but like still doing the same old shit, you know, and it's just like, also, because I know what my coaches and healers and mentors do with me, and I know what I do with my clients. It's like, you need like a massage, right? It's just better when someone else does it. So those are like some next steps you can take. Purpose, like I said, it's always there, full stop. Go ahead, Cam.
Can you actually pull that back up?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, thanks. Thank you. Well, thank you overall for this and for inviting me here today. This was awesome.
Thank you for being here.
Yes. So I realized I was doing like a little bit of an internal assessment for myself, and I feel like the main area in this triangle here that I feel like is continuing to act as like a hindrance is under the values and the beliefs, because the purpose, like it's clear, it's been clear forever. The skills, they're there. I have no doubt about that, also with the understanding that like I can continue to develop them. The environment, I feel like I have in place. The behavior part, I also kind of feel like I can work on that a little bit, but you know, I am starting to like work with coaches. And so the identity, I've recently started to shift, but I know for me, it's like the values and the beliefs, which I do think is tied to the identity for me, is still there. And just to like not be vague and be more specific, it has to do with like money, and just like my concept of even like how I view people who have like a fuckload of money, and just my own beliefs about like global capitalism and everything. And it's like, and there's such a contradiction with what I actually want, how I envision my life to be, the kind of lifestyle I want to have, and the amount of money that I want to be creating by pursuing my art. And specifically for me, that is with music. I'm a recording artist. This is a piece of the identity that I've recently shifted, where I'm like, I'm just going to be really specific about saying who I am. And I know that there are certain ideas for myself and goals that I have related to, for me, what it would mean for me to be a successful recording artist. And part of that means that would be, I could rely on that to be my sole income, and it would be more than enough of what I need. But yet I still have this belief about like associating people who make a lot of money with like greed and like bad. And so it's like, well, if my belief is that people with a lot of money are bad, then something tells me that is going to prevent me from making a lot of money. Because what? Then once I start making a lot of money, then I'm bad? Like, no, like I know that logically, but it's like, I know that there is like this big belief that's there that honestly, I think on a spiritual level the universe is like, not as a punishment, but it's like, bro, if you think you're gonna be bad when you make a lot of money, then like, then now isn't the time, you know, like then now it's not going to happen now. And so it's frustrating because I feel like I am cock blocking myself. And so anyway, yeah, like that, I would say that piece is like the biggest thing on this pyramid that I feel like I have some awareness of, but that I'm like, I don't, like, how do I shift this? Like, how do I entirely shift like a big world view that I have so that I can be successful?
I got something for you.
I'm
I got
listening.
something for all of you. So this is something that I'm going to gift you all for free today for being here. So it's about understanding your money blueprint. So the same way that the blueprints of a house tell you what the house is going to look like, how many dimensions, how many doors, bedrooms, baths, your money blueprint is going to tell you what your bank account is going to look like. And what you just said, there are beliefs in there. And so this money blueprint will guide you. There's a video that explains what it is. There's a worksheet that's a few pages. It's got like 80 different money beliefs that you get to rate yourself on from 0 to 10. And then there's a space for journaling and reflection. Now I'm gonna call you out a little bit because I know you downloaded this a while ago, but I don't think you ever did it. So that's limby being like, we don't need to do that. That's going to get you to want to change. We don't need to do that worksheet. We don't need to go to that class, you know? So I'm going to pop it right here in the chat. You can all sign up for it and if you have any questions, reach out to me, but I want you to see it. Because remember, awareness is the first step. There's also actually a money healing self-hypnosis. Well, not self-hypnosis, it's me. But there's a money healing recording in there. It will connect you with your inner wisdom. And when you connect with that inner wisdom, you can ask it any questions like, how the fuck do I, you could literally ask it, how do I stop believing that people with a lot of money are shit? And then your wisdom will tell you. So that's that. So yay, bonus. Thank you for asking that question or making that comment, because that was a present for all of you. But also I have another invitation. So let me go back to my sharing, presenting, AO technology, right? Okay. So breathe. And I know we're going to go into Q&A. So if anyone else wanted to share, we're going to go into that next. But if you're loving this, if you're feeling my vibe, that means you'll love my content, and that means you'll love the more shit I have to teach. So I would love for you to come to Reframe Your Focus, Reclaim Your Time. It's a 90-minute workshop I am hosting on Wednesday, March 1st. If you cannot attend live, there will be a recording. You'll also be in my group where I do all these teachings and trainings and all kinds of stuff. So it's really about, I'm going to be talking a lot about what we talked about today, but also the time management stuff. I'm going to teach a framework for how to think about time, right? Because especially if you're not yet a full-time entrepreneur or content creator, you still got your pay-to-bills job. So this is how you're going to think about time. We're going to give you a cute little framework. We're going to talk about 𝘵𝑠𝑖 and 𝘵𝑒𝑑𝑖 and limby again. We're going to talk about the neurological levels of change again. So it'll be a nice review for you all. And we're going to talk about time. So follow me on Instagram. The link is there. DM me if you have any questions. I don't want to stop sharing, but I don't want it to be full screen. Okay, can y'all still see it? Okay, cool. So tap the link on my Instagram. That's all I got for you today.